What's happening, guys? Classic Chris here with another episode of Wrestling Talk. Today we are talking about Monday Night Raw from January 4th, 2016. That's right, the first Raw 2016. I started Raw a little bit late this week. I tuned in around 8:15, just in time to catch Neville versus Owens. And I am so thankful that I did, because this was a good match. Fans were in for a treat. I just knew it was as soon as I knew this match was set up. It was going to be awesome, and it delivered. I can't say anything bad about that match. It was a good, solid match. Great way to start off Raw. You had Dean Ambrose out there because he's currently in a feud with Kevin Owens. Right now, Kevin Owens just doesn't like anybody, which I like. He's a good, strong heel right now. Him and Neville put on a damn clinic. It was a great match to watch. I was happy to watch it. After Owens goes over, after the match, we get Dean Ambrose and Kevin Owens fighting each other. Kevin Owens gets put through a table. Now that's how you start off Raw. I was pumped. And then, to me, that was just awesome. That was a great way to start off Raw. And then you get Vince McMahon arrives, cuts an old school 30-second promo. And that's what you gotta do. 30 seconds, not 10 minutes. Promos today are way too long, and it's just seems like they're dragging on and on and on and on, and I cannot stand that. So 30 seconds is where it's at. So Vince McMahon's in the building, guest referee for tonight. Next up, we got Stardust taking on Titus ONeil. Now, with that Neville Kevin Owens match, I knew it was going to be a tough act to follow, and I felt bad for these guys to be forced to go on after that match, because that match was a friggin' clinic. You get a table spot at the announce table after end that match, so it was a tough act to follow. And it was a tough act to follow. The match was okay. It was Titus ONeil went over. He got the win, and then we get the Diva segment. But not a bad start to Raw so far. We got I guess from when I watched it from, I get Adrian Neville versus Kevin Owens, and then I get Vince McMahon showing up, cuts a cheap, quick promo, and then we get Stardust versus Titus ONeil. Now we get the Divas match. That's how you do it. It wasn't no 30 minutes of talking. We got a lot of wrestling in that first hour. And the first hour ended in the middle of that Divas match. And that Divas match wasn't even bad. Charlotte and Becky Lynch put on a good match. You had Ric Flair on the outside. You can't go wrong with that. And that's what we got in the first hour. Wrestling. You cannot go wrong with that. Then after the Divas match, we get Ryback versus the Big Show. Yes, again. But worry not, friends. The Wyatts came out and they took down Ryback. I love it. Raw has been all action this week. Raw comes back from commercials. We get another match. That's right, another match. We get the Usos taking on the League of Nations, Rusev and Del Rio. This is wrestling. This is a good format for their show. I like what they're doing. I don't know if it's because it's the first Raw of the new year, or it's to help out SmackDown going on to the USA Network this week, or is it because they want to look better than TNA that is premiering tonight on the Pop Network? I don't know, but thank you WWE for putting on matches. And speaking of matches, back to it. Okay, so it's Rusev and Del Rio against the Usos. This match, cripes. This match, okay, there's one thing I want to complain about right now, and it's Rusev's new double stomp finisher. You know how he does that stomp off the turnbuckle? Well, here's the thing about that move. The guy is he's setting himself up, just waiting for that. All he has to do is just unhook his hands and lay down, and Del Rio's going to miss him. That's all he's got to do. So I don't get it. It bugs me every time I see this move. But speaking of that, though, the League wins, but this match wasn't that bad either. And to follow it up, we get another match. Except this time we got Heath Slater with his new crew. Now, this is putting a new meaning to the term Job Squad. I don't know. But it seems like every heel in the WWE is now a part of a faction. How many four-man factions do we have? We have Heath Slater and his crew. We have the Authority. We have the League of Nations. Well, the Authority is just basically done now. There's no Seth Rollins or anything like that. And then we got the Wyatt family. We got the New Day. It's is everyone? What is this? Group warfare? I don't get it, but it seems like every guy has a stable now. But so it's Heath Slater taking on Dolph Ziggler. This match was sloppy at best, but Heath Slater comes up with the win. That's right. Dolph Ziggler, you drop now down to Heath Slater category. You're a former world heavyweight champion, and you lose to Heath Slater on Raw. Okay, buddy. Like, you went from being the guy that was in feuds with former WWE champion Sheamus, who had to kiss your arse according to that stupid stipulation, but still, they put you in a match with Heath Slater and you can't even get that win. That's terrible. So we get a name for these for these clowns, or as Adam Rose would say, these unique flowers, calling themselves the Social Outcasts. Oh, wow. Social Outcasts. I don't know what's worse, the name or that promo. That promo was bad. It is bad what they're doing to Curtis Axel, but I'm sorry, WWE. This faction no one's going to care about, and people are just going to... It's just not a good faction. I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, sorry I didn't mention it. The faction is Heath Slater, Adam Rose, Bo Dallas, and Curtis Axel. If Bo Dallas is going to be part of any faction, you change him, he comes back as a Wyatt family member, let him grow in a beard or something, I don't know. But, so, with that promo, I was so pissed, I literally left, or not pissed, but I was just that bored. I left and went and grabbed some food. So by the time I come back, I completely missed everything that the New Day did, and I come out and I basically sit down to Y2J cutting his promo. The promo wasn't bad. It was not bad until it got to Rudy Tooty Booty. What? Who wrote that line? Jericho. You used to be the guy that made fun of everybody, and I mean everybody. But this is what you give us? Rudy Tooty Booty? That is so terrible. It's so G-rated. And that's all I could say. Like, that is just terrible. The promo wasn't bad, because it was kind of like the first promo we cut when he introduced himself to the WWE when he cut that promo on the Raw. But so long story short, Jericho announces that he's going to participate in this year's Royal Rumble. Now we get a 6-man tag match. The New Day versus the Dudleys and Kalisto. And if everyone remembers, Sin Cara got injured last week. He separated his shoulder during the match with the New Day. So Sin Cara is teaming up with the Dudleys. Not a bad team up. It was a decent match. Dudleys and Kalisto worked good together. But in the end, New Day wins. So far, going in the main event for the World Heavyweight Championship tonight, we were giving a wrestling show, and it was good to see, friends. It wasn't a lot of talk, because you tune into the WWE because you want to see wrestling, do you not? I know I do. And I like how we're seeing just wrestling, and then throughout the show we kept getting these plugs, and I'm happy they've been plugging this all night, because I want to see Brock Lesnar return to Raw, and next week he's coming back. So that being said, everyone knows I'm going to be watching Raw next week, and with that being said, we're in the main event. It's main event time, ladies and gentlemen. Roman Reigns taking on Sheamus for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, with Vinnie Mac, Vincent, Kenny McMahon acting as a special guest referee. Now, I know there are some people bashing this feud, just hating on it, but I'm going to give it some credit. The one thing I'm going to give it, if it wasn't for this Roman Reigns Sheamus feud, we wouldn't have gotten not just one, but a couple world title matches, World Heavyweight Championship matches on Raw. How often have you seen title matches this frequently on Raw? It was a great change of pace. I was glad to see it, but let's get into the match. Reigns, there's Vince McMahon's special guest referee. He's on Sheamus' side, so basically he's trying to screw Reigns over by doing slower counts than he would for Sheamus, not doing a count, and so on. So we get a couple of spots where Sheamus has to Superman punch Vince McMahon, then he Superman punches another ref, and then finally Roman Reigns hits a spear. Roman Reigns gets the 3 count. Roman Reigns is still your World Heavyweight Champion. But the bombshell of that show isn't the fact that we had a world title match. Isn't the fact that the match of the night was the first match. First match of the night, to me, was the best match of the night. Kevin Owens versus Neville. But the bombshell of the show was Vince McMahon said that Roman Reigns, since it's one against all, this coming up at the Royal Rumble, you'll be defending your World Heavyweight Championship against 29 other individuals in the Royal Rumble match, which is awesome. It's been a while since we've seen that. I think the last time we saw it was when Vince McMahon won the Rumble to become champion, I think that was it. And But the Rumble that stands out to me in memory is hands down one of my favorite Rumbles. Probably, arguably one of the most star-studded Rumbles at that time was 1992 when Ric Flair became the World Heavyweight Champion after winning the Royal Rumble. That was a great Royal Rumble. It always sticks out to me as one of my favorites of all time. It was a good night for wrestling that night. Ric Flair and how Bobby Heenan called that match, Ric Flair winning the Rumble. It's not fair to Flair, and how Flair cut that infamous promo. How it was the greatest moment of his life, and I'll agree because that was probably one of the greatest Royal Rumbles I ever watched. I'm excited for this year's Rumble because heck, with Brock Lesnar making his return next week, could that mean Brock Lesnar will be in the Rumble? And if so, who's going to eliminate that bad guy, that badass? No one's going to touch Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar's going to throw people around, and that's going to be very, very fun to watch. I cannot wait for that. Normally in this part of the show, I would bring up the ratings for this week's Raw, but they are not out yet. So, guys, as soon as those are up, I'll do up another video just on the ratings. With that being said, we're going to wrap things up there in Wrestling Talk. I want to thank you for watching, like the video, subscribe, leave a comment, because I would like to hear what did you think about Monday Night Raw. And you know what? I'm going to give you my rating for this show. I thought this show was an 8 out of 10. It was a good show. We got a lot of matches. That's what I want to see out of wrestling. Some of the matches weren't as good, but I don't care. I was happy to see wrestling. It made the show fly by. Everybody have a good one, and thank you for watching the Wrestling Talk podcast.